Glad you're here. Shalom Aleichem. Welcome back to some more food for our soul. Vayigash is the parsha that we're reading this week. We're nearing the end of the book of Genesis, and all of the stories I've been reading for the past few weeks and for the upcoming weeks as well are all going to be about Joseph the tzaddik. But I'd like to begin with a passage from Pirkei Avot, the Ethics of the Fathers, which states that a person is often motivated by one of three things: kiso, kaso, v'koso. Kiso is a person's pocket. Basically, they're motivated by money. We know people like this. Might be us at certain points in our life. Kaso is a person's anger. Oftentimes, we're motivated to do things simply because we are so flush with insult and injury and anger that we want to inflict harm or get back or get revenge. The third item is koso, a person's cup. What's in your cup? You know the phrase. Sometimes people have a cup that is half empty, sometimes it's half full, but either way it's the same cup and the same amount of liquid is in it. It all depends on how you view life. So now let's come back to the story of Joseph. Joseph's cup is half full. He's viceroy of Egypt. Terrible things have happened to him. He's been thrown in a pit. He's been thrown in a pit again. And now he's finally champion of all of Egypt, and his brothers, the ones that threw him in the pit, the ones that wanted to kill him, are now in Egypt seeking food. What's going to motivate Joseph now that he's confronting his brothers after all this time? Which one of those three items is he going to pick? What happens when he meets his brothers for the first time is he weeps. He simply turns away from them and cries and cries. And later on, when he reveals himself to his brothers, he takes everybody, shoves them out of the room, and openly weeps with his brothers present and says, "I'm Joseph." Later, when he meets his little brother, Benjamin, he weeps again. Joseph cries all the time. What does this say about a person's character? You know, we may want to laugh a lot. And perhaps I hope you have many opportunities to find joy in life, to laugh, to dance, to sing. But life isn't always pleasant. And sometimes it pays. It's meaningful. And we should cry. We should cry for ourselves. Even more so, we should learn how to cry for other people as well. With this devastating attack that happened in Sydney recently, we should weep. It should rend our hearts. And we should feel it intensely. With all of the negativity and things that happen, we should take them into our heart, not drown them in alcohol or not try to pay somebody off or not lash out in anger, but take it into ourselves, because laughter is important. Joy is critical. As Nachman of Bratslav said, mitzvah gadola liyot b'simcha. It is the greatest mitzvah to be full of joy. But we can't always be full of joy because sometimes it's just not appropriate. Sometimes we need to cry. And that makes us human. Both aspects of our being, joy, laughing, dancing, as well as weeping and holding each other very close, is so very important. You know, Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, once made the remark, one person cannot warm themselves in a bed, but two people together can do so. This is what we do. We cry together. We laugh together. But sometimes, by many of us, we see laughter as a sign of strength, but crying as a sign of vulnerability and weakness. It's not so. That's so out of place. It's so wrong. It's so anti-Jewish, as we see with Joseph. That we have to feel things keenly inside of our soul, whether they be good or whether they be bad. We take them into ourselves. We live a full and complete life by learning how to both laugh as well as weep. I wonder if you remember the candidate who was running for president some number of decades ago, Ed Muskie. Had a great chance of becoming president and then suddenly did not. What happened with Muskie was that there was a newspaper article that said some very unfortunate, nasty things about his wife. Ed Muskie was very, very angry. And when he was interviewed later on television, he broke down in tears. He broke down in tears because he felt the pain of the assault on somebody whom he loved so very dearly. And as a result, people lost faith with him. He was ultimately not elected president and dropped out of the race because people saw him as weak and vulnerable. This, again, is not how we're supposed to live our lives and judge character. I judge character, and I hope you judge character too, by not only the people of goodwill laughing, slapping us on the back, having a good time, but people who know how to weep, people who know how to feel. This is the lesson that Joseph gives to us. Being fully awake in this world to the joys as well as the oys of life.